All right. Well, earlier in the show, we were talking about UBS perhaps cutting back on their commodities hiring, mostly because this decade-long bull market in commodities has made it very difficult to hire good people and to actually be able to pay them what they are demanding. Well, our next guest, I suppose, is a beneficiary of that. Gavin Lavelle is CEO of Brady Plc. It's a provider of commodity trading software, and he sees his company's revenues jumping 60% this year. And Gavin is joining us now from our London bureau. Gavin, welcome to Fast Forward. Great to have you on the show. Let's talk a little bit about where you fit in the sort of commodities food chain.
Yes, so we are a commodity trading and risk management software company. So we provide the tools to book the transactions, manage the risk, generate the P&L. And we sell to banks and brokers, trading companies who are intermediaries who sit between the producers and the banks and brokers. And we also sell to the producing companies, so miners or people who grow food or energy utilities. So the commonality is anybody who trades commodity or energy products. And we've seen very good market conditions in the last few years, and I think the overall trading conditions are positive.
Now, of those customer segments, Gavin, what's most interesting to me are sort of the miners, the actual producers, not so much the traders. How is that business growing, and is that where you have the biggest opportunity of growth?
Yeah, we are quite evenly spread between the producers, the trading companies, and the banks. And I have to say, I think it means different things for different market participants. With the underlying raw material prices firm, the mining companies and the energy companies are overall in good shape and are enjoying market conditions. The trading companies who sit in the middle, people like Glencore, I think has been very high profile. Market volatility is good for those market participants. I think the banks have been more focused on risk management and overall management of their portfolios. So I think that, consistent with what UBS was saying, we've seen maybe the banks a bit less aggressive in hiring, but certainly in the trading companies and the producing companies, they see good market conditions.
Let me ask you this. One of the big demand drivers, of course, or market drivers, has been demand coming out of China. We've seen some concerns, perhaps, that demand is going to even out a bit or perhaps pull back. Is that affecting your business at all or not?
No, we see the overall prices for the major demand is for the metal side. Things like 40% of copper worldwide goes to China these days. And there is continued expansion in the Chinese market. Market commentators very clearly focus on Chinese activity in the marketplace. We're seeing continued, good demand. And I think the difference with China is, as it is a command economy, they clearly articulate and lay out 5-year plans, and they're very clear about the expansion in their infrastructure, the transport segment, the mining segment in China, and I think the overall conditions remain favorable. Clearly on a month-by-month basis, we can see a lot of volatility in the marketplace, but I think the super cycle of demand from China and India, aligned with the population growth, by the end of this century, the world's population will go from 7 billion to 10 billion. The overall super cycle is in good shape. Sure, there'll be bumps along the way, and there will be market volatility along the way, but the overall conditions remain positive.
Gavin, very quickly, you're projecting 60% growth this year, half of which will be organically. What other acquisitions do you see out on the horizon? We have about 20 seconds, unfortunately.
Yeah, we see across the board the metals market, the softs market, and the energy markets are very buoyant. We definitely see things for further growth in scrap and recycling, particularly in the US. And we also see demand for energy risk management as people move towards more types of renewable energy.
All right, Gavin, thank you so much for joining us. That was Gavin Lavelle. He is CEO of Brady Plc. This is a commodity trading software business.